free-floating anxiety, I'm talking about the kind of anxiety that we experience when we get triggered and we might not even realize it, and we start to feel anxious and uncomfortable. Now, I'm not talking about diagnosable anxiety disorders that are really paralyzing for people, but I'm talking about just sort of that anxious feeling that a lot of us sort of walk around with. Many times we'll have a 25-cent problem and we spend $1.50 on it. And so the problem itself doesn't need that much energy, but we sort of put twice as much energy or 3 times as much energy on it than we really need to. I want to mention an article by Alberto Vildasola, and he wrote an article called Jaguar Medicine, and I really liked what he had to say. Essentially, it's about resetting the fight or flight mechanism. And fight or flight really refers to the 2 states that we're in. We're in fight sometimes or flight in a response to feeling anxious. And he says, the danger is that our physiological responses to chronic stress is the same as during instances of danger. Our fight or flight hormones continue to wash through our system, and we soon have an oversupply of cortisol and adrenaline. And of course, a lot of times cortisol is that thing that keeps us overweight, so we want to think about that. Excess levels of cortisol break down tissue in virtually every corner of the body, accelerating the aging process. High cortisol levels weaken ligaments, muscle, blood vessels, and bone, and can cause elevated blood sugars and high blood pressure, eventually leading to easy bruising and thin, nearly transparent skin that we associate with the elderly. So certainly that's not what we want to make manifest in our life. And his article, in it, he was talking about working with a shaman who talked about, Don Ramon was his name, talked about a lot of us have chased our jaguar sort of up into a tree. And really part of what we want to do is reclaim our jaguar. We want to go back and we want to reclaim that peaceful energy that is our inheritance. And also, we might want to think about ways that we can prepare ourselves so that we don't go right into flight. And some of these things we might want to do are daily exercise, daily meditation, prayer, talking to people that remind us the truth about who we are, surrounding ourselves with loving friends and family. And so if we can really make these sort of soulful connections every day, we are bound to be able to absorb some of those anxious impulses that we might experience if we don't prepare ourselves to go into the world in a peaceful state. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can reach me, Dr. Janine, at simplydivinesolutions.com. Thank you so much for joining me today.